Jeffrey Peterson, AFA MEC President at Alaska Airlines. Today is Wednesday, February the 27th, 2013. The negotiating committee and I are in the middle of a week of negotiations prep at the Alaska Airlines Flight Operations and Training Center in Seattle. We wanted to take a moment to talk to you about the provisions specific to open time that are in the tentative agreement to Section 12, Exchange of Sequences. We have developed a quartile system for the opening of open time trading and trading in general. Quartile refers to dividing things into quarters, and that is exactly what we've done here for the seniority list of each base. On the 15th, you'll have the first quartile open for trading, that is the top 25%. And on the 16th, the second quartile will open, that would be the top 50%, so it's not only the second quartile, but the first quartile will continue to be able to trade as well. On the 17th, you have the third quartile open, which would then be the top 75%, and on the 18th, all flight attendants will be able to interact with open time and to trade with each other, as well as to trade reserve days if appropriate. The quartile system was developed to prevent open time from being bogged down with the low-quality trips that are in there today to seat open time, such as the 3 days worth 8 or 4 days Guadalajara all-nighters in there. And we are confident that this will return trading flexibility to open time for a majority of flight attendants, and that will make a functioning and transparent system that will be an improvement over today's world. There have been some questions about other carriers that have a seniority-based trading, and we have confirmed that there are several that have at least a component of seniority-based trading, such as Piedmont, Hawaiian, pre-Delta Northwest Airlines, American Eagle, and US Air East. So open time will open with no closed days. Today, there are 12 open days, and the rest would be typically closed and checkerboarded before open time opens. We have proposed that there is no pre-funding of open time. So in today's contract, there is 25% of the number of flight attendants in that base in TFP is what is in open time at a minimum to seat open time. What that means is that the bottom of the barrel trips is what falls out from open time, and that's what seeds it for trading today. If you have 1,000 flight attendants in the base, that means, say, 250 TFP minimum has to be in there. And what we are proposing is that all trips, as much as possible, are assigned to lines, and that will lead to more line holders, and that means that there is no seating of open time. I'll get to that in just a moment. So what that will mean is that there's fewer low-quality trips in open time at the start. How we're going to seed open time is that you're allowed to do straight drops to open time, just like you would to a flight attendant. You can trade one way to open time and not exchange anything back under certain conditions. So what we have proposed is that if the sequence departure day is open, you can simply post a trip to open time as long as you have not traded more than 40 TFP net into open time. I'd like to discuss the formula for determining the open time closing threshold, and that is based on language from the Southwest Airlines contract. We have proposed one sequence departure for every 200 flight attendants in each domicile, and that for the rounding up, more than 50 flight attendants in the next 200 is rounded up. So for instance, if there are 650 flight attendants in a base, that will require that there be 4 sequence departures. 1 for every 200 would be 3 for the 600, plus the 50 rounded up to 4. Also, for smaller bases, we proposed a minimum of 3 sequence departures for each day. So this helps out any of the domiciles that are less than 600 flight attendants. Only flight attendant and coupon drops count towards the threshold for closing open time, and those will be coded and visible. What we mean by that is that only trips that have been traded into open time by flight attendants or have been dropped because of coupon drops, it will have a code. Under eMaestro, the codes will be TR for trade and CP for coupon. Those could change with a new system in the future. Management is looking at a brand new crew tracking system, and those codes themselves might change, but the idea is still there, that they will be visible in the pairings themselves, and you can see which pairings are actually coded to CP or TR. Only the day of departure will count towards the closing of open time. So in today's world, if you have a 4-day trip, you have to look at all 4 days to see if they're open or not. Under our proposal, it only matters what the first day is. It's the day of departure. If that day is open and you have not exceeded your 40 TFP net restriction of trading trips into open time, you can simply just post the trip into open time, and that is perfectly legal. Also, if the day is closed, it can reopen if a flight attendant picks up one of those trips that has either a coupon drop code or a trade drop code. And I'll talk about that in just a moment here. So the threshold for the bases will adjust with changing staffing levels. For instance, in Seattle, there will be a minimum of 10 sequence departures per day. In LA, Portland, Anchorage, and San Diego, there will also be 3 per day per base. So in Portland, as an example, we have 11 days of open time listed here. The sequence threshold is 3 per day for Portland due to the size of the base, and if on the third there are 3, it will be closed. The second 3 closed. If there's 2 on the third, then it's an open day. There's only 1 on the fourth, so it's open, and then again 3, so it's closed. What this means is that on the third, if you have a trip on the third that begins on the third, this stays open as long as you have not traded more than 40 TFP into open time net. You can just post a trip to open time and not take anything out. It will close the day because then there will be 3, but you can certainly do that and it will be legal. Even if there is a closed day, such as on the second, if there is a turn on the second and you have a 4-day on the second, you can exchange that for that turn, even if it's closed. Even if the third or the fifth is closed, it doesn't matter again on the number of days. It's only the initial departure date that matters for trading with open time. So here, again, you can trade out a turn and put in a 4-day trip, provided that you have not exceeded your 40 TFP net maximum. What I want to talk about with that 40 TFP, again, is that if your line starts at 80, you've traded away 40 to open time, you cannot trade any more down in open time. You can exchange as long as it's TFP to TFP, or you can pick back up again, but you can't put more TFP into open time than 40 total. If you happen to pick up 40 more TFP out of open time, that'll bring you all the way back up to your original line of 80, and you can drop 40 more back in. Again, it's net, so whatever goes in and comes out, the net exchange has to be less than or equal to 40. That is the only restriction on trading with open time, as well as the closed days, of course. So in summary, the reason that we came up with this unique proposal is that we believe that open time is broken today, and with the new system, flight attendants will be in control of what closes open time, and you can see it. It's very transparent. So we're going to be in control and not management. During the first 4 days, open time will be funded by the more senior flight attendants in each base, and that's hence the quartile system. So on the 15th, you have the first quartile posting trips or trading in open time. Once the 16th opens, you'll have the second quartile. So all those people in that second quartile will have all the senior trips above them in open time, and they'll be able to interact and trade with those trips. And again, for the third quartile, and then even with the fourth quartile, it will only be trips in open time that are in a seniority range above their own. And that's what we think is the unique part of this proposal and what is a benefit to all of the quartiles. So we have developed this system to improve open time. We thank you for your consideration of the proposal. The next negotiation session is going to be on March 18th through 21st here in Seattle, and at that session we're expecting to see a comprehensive proposal from management, which will include compensation, insurance benefits, and a response on all of the other open sections. So this is really where the big stuff starts. If you have any further questions or concerns, you can always visit us online at the Alaska Airlines Negotiations Facebook page. There has been some discussion back and forth there about open time, and you're welcome to check that out if you're a member of Facebook. And there's also the Alaska MEC website and our discussion board there. You can visit us anytime at the Alaska MEC website at www.alaskамec.org.